Hi, Hartwig. Cowabunga French fries.
Hey, I'm Matt with PUSH Industries. We're here today with the Santa Cruz Megatower V2, and I'm going to show you how to remove the stock shock and how to install the PUSH Elevensix. Each bolt front and rear is just going to be a 6mm hex. So I'll start by just loosening the front bolt like that, and then I will loosen the rear mount bolt. I'm going to remove the rear mount bolt first. No particular reason, that's just what works the best for me. There is flip chips on either side of this linkage, so you're going to want to be aware of that and do your best to keep them from falling out of the linkage, because otherwise you'll have to fish them out of there and it can kind of be a pain. Put a finger on the back side of this bolt and kind of hold the flip chip in place there, and unthread the rear shock mount bolt counterclockwise until I feel it is not engaged with the threads. Then I'm going to kind of unweight the rear wheel like this, kind of free up the bolt there and carefully remove it from the linkage. So you can see there's the other flip chip and the shock is no longer supported in the linkage there. And so I've already loosened the front bolt, so now I can just unthread it counterclockwise. So then I'll hold on to the shock so it doesn't fall out of the bike, and remove the front shock mount bolt, and then carefully remove the shock from the bike. All right, so now you're going to take your brand new 11.6, get it out of the box. They come with the proper hardware installed. So in this case, it's a 30x8 front and rear, and it's already sprung for the correct rider weight, the rider who ordered it. So it's ready to install directly from the box. Easily slide it into the frame and situate it into the rear link there. And in this case, it'll kind of hold itself there, so you can set it there while you grab your shock mount bolts. So I'm going to do the rear shock mount bolt first. Raise up the rear eyelet to where I think it's going to be close, and just kind of feel, you'll be able to feel when it passes through the flip chip there and goes into the hardware. So it's into the hardware. And at this point now, you're going to want to put your finger on the back side of the link again, because it has that flip chip back there and you just don't want it to pop out. Now that I have that secured, I'm going to push the bolt through so I feel it engage the threads. Now I'm going to just take my 6mm hex and thread it clockwise until I feel it pull. Then I'm just going to back it out a turn or so, just so there's a little bit of play in there, because I'll do final torque when I put the bike on the ground. Same with the front shock mount bolt. I'm going to hold it here in my hand and slide it through the hole of the yoke and kind of support the shock here, and raise the rear wheel till I feel the front shock mount bolt go into the hardware like that. It helps to unweight the rear wheel just so that the bolt can find the threads on the opposite side of the yoke. So kind of unweight here and thread clockwise, and you can see that the threads have engaged and the bolt is snugging up. So same thing as the rear, getting tight there, but I'm just going to go back out a half a turn or a turn there, just so there's a little bit of play in there. All right, so we have the bike on the ground now, so the shock is in its most settled position. So we're going to go ahead and snug up these shock mount bolts. So we'll take our 6mm hex and go clockwise till it's nice and snug, rear and front. And then the torque spec on this frame is 140 inch-pounds for the front and rear shock mount bolts. So
what's that, Newton meters?
15.8.
Oh, look at this man.
So we got our torque wrench right here set. So we'll just go ahead and get that up to torque, and got that nice click there. All set.
What if you don't have a torque wrench?
If you don't have a torque wrench, just get them nice and snug and go ride. Do I need to say Matt Hartwig from Push Industries again?
No.
Do I need to say my last name?
No. She's good to go, huh?
Yeah.
What do you do next?
Go ride.
Where are you going to ride?
I mean, I would probably go to Horsetooth.
Thanks, Hartwig.
Yeah.